I play as much as I can every single day. I will stumble upon something and I go, this is something I want to pursue and continue. Where is this going to go? And it becomes this infatuation, and eventually that melody will develop, something will follow it, and I'll put those two together. Or often I will have two distinct melodies that I think are going to be two different songs. And then I realize, wait a second, they fit perfectly. And I will often blend and mesh and combine to get a tune.
But your inspiration can come from all kinds of crazy places, like the tune Frank in the Box.
I love this tune. Audiences love it when I play it, but I think they enjoy the story behind it more. I cat sat for the first time in my entire life. I grew up with dogs, so I didn't know anything about cats. And this cat's name was Frank. And I gotta be honest, over 3 days of cat sitting, Frank made me a fan of cats. He showed me all of his possessions, the box he sits in the living room. He has another box by the window, and then he showed me the other box that he does business in. And so we wrote that song together in the living room. He didn't seem that impressed by it, but it was called Frank in the Box, and that is the tune that came from that experience.
Frank in the Box, and that was the composer and player, Joe Nicola. Joe, you say that your melodies are intended to evoke moods. What about that one, Frank in the Box?
For me, that mood is just pure whimsical joy that comes from playing music. Just you get that rise in your heart, and you just get filled up, and you often don't have the words to describe how you're feeling, but just the mood is just there.
Joe, one of your great role models on the guitar is Leo Kottke, and you finally met him. What was that like?
Meeting Leo, well, first, Leo Kottke was my inspiration to learn how to finger pick as a kid. I had never heard finger picking. I didn't know what it was. And for me, it sounded like he had 6 guitar picks on one hand and could play a million things. So for me, I wanted to learn to play like him. I wanted to learn more about him, and getting to meet him. First, nicest guy, kind, gave me advice, would let me ask questions why he played.
And you really helped out one of his shows because you had a guitar stand.
Yes, so the venue he was playing in, they didn't have an instrument stand, so I had mine in my trunk. So I just put it on stage and he used it. And before he got on stage, he took my guitar stand and he just covered it in gaffer tape.
Why'd he do that?
I believe so it wouldn't ding up his instrument, which is very fine and appropriate. But the whole time I was just like, that's okay. I think I'm gonna leave all that tape on there, and I still have that guitar stand with all this raggedy tape. And for me, that inspired just that joy of getting to meet someone you've always admired.
And one of your compositions came out of that.
The song that came out of that was called Kottke Tape, because he took all this tape and just covered my instrument stand, and he ended up giving a great show and was just the nicest guy, and just that joy of feeling starstruck, but also aware enough to ask specific questions about playing and technique, really seizing the opportunity to ask the master.
are speaking with guitarist, composer Joe Nicola. Joe, when you play, what kind of feedback do you get from audiences?
They love my stories that I tell between songs. They enjoy hearing what I was thinking when I was playing this. They also enjoy just the banter that I like to have. Audiences are fun. Sometimes they'll shout out a request and I'll be like, that's a great idea. I don't know it.
You promote your original work and that you are a finger-style guitar player. But if you're a finger-style guitar player, that could include the works of others. And you do play works of others. What's a cover that you really like to play?
A cover I really enjoy playing is called The Roller Skate Song by, I believe it was called Melanie, that artist. That goes over really well. There's a line that says, some people say I've done all right for a girl, I change it to a boy. They get a nice kick out of that. Other covers I love to make arrangements of that are real favorites are the Beatles, Blackbird. That song is fantastic for fingerstyle guitar.
What would you like to play right now?
I'd love to play Blackbird by the Beatles. Everybody loves it. Brings people together. The message, it's still relevant. Blackbird singing in the dead of night. Take these broken wings and learn to fly. For your life, you were only waiting for this moment to arise.
Joe Nicola performs live outdoors Saturday, August 22nd at Lake Monster Brewing in St. Paul at 6 p.m. For information about Joe Nicola Music is on Facebook, or conduct an internet search for Joe Nicola Music. Nicola is spelled Nicola. This program is made possible by the Minnesota Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund. Phil Nusbaum speaking.
You were only waiting for this moment to be